Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Alaja Nemo Akashat Zabiri. How are you today?
Good morning. Good morning. Everybody now says Alaja in Murayo's voice when they address me. What an experience. Yesterday evening, I had fun. I've not had such fun in a while. I don't do nights.
Yes.
Events. Yeah.
But yesterday was a good exception. I loved the movie Funmilayo Ransome Kuti. Wonderful cast and crew. I saw my friend Omaomi and a lot of cast and crew.
Oh, yeah.
We, reconnected but the movie is something everybody should go and see. Don't let somebody tell you.
I agree.
And I'm more than happy that, we've started to document these stories. My kids were surprised when I told them, Funmilayo Ransome Kuti that you were reading, because they just reintroduced history, was YK's grandma. So because of that, YK holds a special place. She's now Grandma YK.
Yeah.
And
YK was in the movie.
Yes.
My family was there. I saw quite. I was like,
the auntie.
Yes.
I'll let her share the story. But it was wonderful to watch. Really wonderful story. And it's important that our kids now have role model that they can pick. They've done the Ayinla movie as well.
Yeah.
Documenting our history, the richness of it, and
one thing, and I'll come to you, Sokwe, in a second. One thing that stuck out to me was because when we say Funmilayo Ransome Kuti, people remember for one thing. First woman to drive car. But she did more than that.
Way more than that.
She rallied women together, pushed for a cause, she led and fought against oppression. So there was so much more to Funmilayo Ransome Kuti than being the first person to drive a car.
The beautiful part is that we didn't know there was a love story in her life. It was made to seem like,
she was just the
somebody
only
that
one
can protest, that can fight. Activists don't have love life, So I love the part that they, told this.
Hello, Tokwe, how are you?
We started on the movie, but I would chime
It was your
in.
birthday yesterday. How was your
Happy
birthday?
birthday.
Let's hear about your birthday experience.
Very good. It was a packed weekend. I was in Port Harcourt to speak at the Hilltop Church in Port Harcourt on. We had a meet and greet on Friday, and on Saturday was their women's conference. Church had been on for over 20 years, and it was such. Was interesting. I enjoyed the speaking engagement. Spoke to them about wealth creation, which is something I love talking about. Then yesterday, had family over, my in-laws, a few friends. It was few friends, but everybody had like four children. So the house was full. In my picture, there were like very few adults.
Many friends.
Yes, there were plenty children inside the picture. I didn't know everybody was going to bring everybody's children. I was like, oh wow, we actually do have, by the time you gather 3 people and everybody has three or four children, the house is full. So it was really fun. The kids had fun. My mom had an amazing time hosting. She'd be cooking and goosey and all this. I'm like, Mommy, I didn't invite anybody. It's just my in-laws that are coming over. It turned out that other people showed up, and I'm very grateful. I'm grateful to God for life. Thank God.
Thank
you.
I'm grateful for you too.
How are you?
I did amazing.
Lots of joy.
So everything, all the works. Yeah, so I had a lovely time this weekend, especially the hangout yesterday. Bolanle Austin Peters movie. Funmilayo Ransome Kuti was a beautiful one from top to bottom. I enjoyed everything. Now when I watch movies, I'm watching it from the producer's lens, and I'm looking beyond what is just being, what is shown on screen to see the sort of work that was put in to achieve that. It was powerful. It was beautiful. I didn't expect anything less anyway, but I really enjoyed it. And the fact that the lead actors were amazing. They killed their roles, and I really loved it. Well done, Bolanle Austin Peters. Then I came home. Prior to that, I had already prepared my kids for going back to school. And I'll be away this weekend, so I prepared them for 2 weeks. They dragged me to go and buy extra snacks for school because they won't be coming home for like 2 weeks while I take a chill, just rest a bit. That was a good weekend at the end of the day.
Fantastic.
You were at the MVCA.
Yeah, but there's no time to talk about it.
Oh,
let's go and break down
sorry.
minutes. When we come back, look at the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. EFCC to join forces with UK prosecutors in the Azanis case. Panels okay tax exemption for informal sector. Rivers government, lawmakers flex muscles over assembly quarters. Cybersecurity levy, why implementation can't take off. Experts suggest options as inflation crosses 34%. Commissioners battle chairman of Federal Character Commission. Pressure mounts on debtors to repay 450 billion naira federal government loans. A Nigerian complex, but easy to govern, says Obasanjo. Okay, which story starting with in The Nation?
Headline. Okay. So the EFCC looking to get more of the assets allegedly stolen by the former Minister for Petroleum, Diezani, are looking to be added as interested parties in the trial ongoing in the UK, where she's been tried for having received or paid bribe of £100,000 and, enjoyed properties and assets in the UK there. The courts said she also had chauffeur-driven cars, flights, and private jets, luxury holidays for family, and use of multiple properties in the UK. But the EFCC says they would be sending a team to London this week to see how they'll be added as parties in the trial. Without being added, they can't get a forfeiture. But with that, they would be able to then go into our assets. Also, they are looking to back their application with a court order from Nigeria granting them access to those assets.
Another story?
Yes, I have another story. The Central Bank of Nigeria is expected to direct banks to suspend the implementation of the cybersecurity levy bill to begin today. This was said at the weekend. There's been an outcry since the CBN circular to banks on the levy was made public. People have been complaining about it. So a source in the presidency said the president, given his sensitivity to the plight of Nigerians under the current economic conditions, will not allow anything to further stress the citizens. And, in confirming the development of the nation yesterday in Abuja, another presidency source said that the act was an office of the National Security Advisor, ONSA, affair with the CBN. The CBN is just there playing the middle role. It said the presidency didn't order the CBN. The president himself didn't order the CBN, to go ahead with this cybersecurity levy. It's not a CBN action. It's an ONSA action. The CBN only issued the circular to banks and implementing institutions. So now they are saying that the presidency has simply stopped the implementation for now to avoid putting extra burden on Nigerians. The NSA also didn't get his approval, that's the presidency's approval, before implementing the provision of the Cybersecurity Act. And it's wrong to say that it was the CBN that ordered it. It wasn't the CBN, it was the NSA. CBN was just acting as a middle
That's the conflict itself.
Yes. So
Office of the National
that,
Security
the banks are supposed to get an order to ignore the implementation direction this week. And we'll see how that plays out. They said also this tax reform is not a new one. It's been a law since 2015. It's some of those laws that we have not really carried out that we're trying to see how we can do. But for now, they are putting it on hold till...
No, the point is that how is it a financial body to carry out such things?
Okay, let's take another story.
Yeah, so the NISAL of Microfinance Bank has partnered with NFIU as a bid to ensure that they are able to recover the 450 billion outstanding debt that the CBN granted to under the Anchor Borrower program. This program benefited over 4 million Nigerians that farm in rice, maize, and other agri products, and a lot of them have defaulted on paying back. But thanks to the global system, Global Standing Instruction, GSI, it has made it possible that anybody, any account that you have, if you're owing the Anchor Borrower program, whichever account, microfinance, within Nigeria, even outside Nigeria, the account can be debited. A few of those who borrow the money are now stepping up. But in tightening this up, the NFIU is partnering with the NISAL Microfinance Bank to ensure that they do a sweep of all the microfinance bank and highlight anybody that is owing this 450 billion naira from the Anchor Borrower program as a means to show that the government is very serious about recovering these funds. The government isn't letting the money go, because some people were saying that the government gave this money as a means to sort some people out and the government had forgotten about the money. No, they haven't. they are now going to ensure the money comes through within this period
That's
of
really
time.
good to know. I've been very concerned about the Anchors program for a while. Moving on quickly now to the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, was in Osun State. There, he went to inaugurate the presidential lodge inside the Osun State government house. He was accompanied obviously by the governor himself, Ademola Adeleke, and the former governor, Prince Olagunsoye Oyinlola. He said, whilst he was there, that Nigeria is, he said that Nigeria is a complex country, but it's not too difficult to govern. He said, with my experience, Nigeria is not difficult. Maybe one can also say the same thing in Osun State. He said, you have to be honest with your conscience, with the people, and with your God. You have to be a man of character and attributes that everybody will see and want to them to lead them. Then concerning governors dancing, he said that you are working with, people can see a happy and hardworking person, you love to dance, but please govern. Don't joke with it. This is because when we make necessary provisions for the people to have jobs, they will work. So we're saying that you're a good governor, you dance around, but it's not all about dancing. Also,
the work.
Let's go to the Punch very quickly. Labour demands reversal as protest begins today. Bank chiefs obtain 549 billion naira insider loans in 5 years. Stop electricity subsidy, IMF tells FG. Man arrested for exposing 4-year-old sensitive parts online. NDLA holds suspects with 3 trucks of codeine pills. Don't stop dancing, but govern well. Obasanjo advises Adeleke. Harry, Meghan end Nigeria tour on a bright sporty note. And the National Assembly gets new tax report in September. Okay, which story?
Okay, this one scared me. So in a joint statement by the NLC's Acting General Secretary Chris Uyo and his CUC counterpart Anka Hassan, they have said that today they will picket the NERC headquarters, the discos nationwide, and the Ministry of Power to protest the tariff, the removal of subsidy in electricity. And they are likely to shut down electricity across the country.
Wow.
That one, they fear me. That's the summary. Let's leave the details.
So do we have time for one more
Yeah,
story?
it's going to shut. Yes, one more story. Right.
Yeah, so the Edo State Police Command has arrested Musa Suleiman for engaging his 3-year-old daughter, Sarah Suleiman, who is a kid model, according to him, in adult content on social media at the Auchi area of the state. I think it's one of the stories we're going to be taking today. Just a few details here. It said that, Suleiman had posted an indecent picture of his child on her recently deactivated Instagram account, exposing sensitive parts of her body and posing erotically. Now, people, concerned Nigerians, reacted to the video and they were calling on him to take down the video. A lot of them said they're afraid that he may be using her for some, pornographic activities for financial gains. At the end of the day, the police is aware of it. He has been picked up. And according to him, he said that the little girl is a model. He has been trying to do comedy. He's not selling. So he has started to market his little child, who is a model. And the child has a mentor who is a porn actress, Siu Piu Yi, adult movie actress in, I think, one of these Asian countries. And that's who the little girl is modeling after. And so, he's been picked up. Investigations are ongoing. I just hope that...
Let's go. This is so pathetic to listen.
Ew.
Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abi.
It was great.
Okay,
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink.
Huh?
No problem.
Okay.
I've always known this as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
I just said, look, I give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
Wait, I'm not done. You did not say final
It's
answer.
final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final
You don't
answer.
have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
how many cameras do they have? My
Nikon.
friend to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. I was going to take the Prince Harry on Sunday, joined in the training sessions of young basketball and wheelchair basketball players at Ilupeju Grammar School. If you recall, he and his wife, Megan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, has been in Nigeria for a few days. They participated in a basketball clinic and to support the construction of a new Giants of Africa basketball court in Abuja. So the clinic welcomed Prince Harry and Meghan, and they shared remarks with the youths and participated on the on-court activities. They were going to be contributing, according to the contribution would help to the organization to help them be more ambitious and initiative and build the infrastructure across Africa. And I'm really happy about that. They've been around for a few days. They've been going around, going to a few tours. And it's good. I think they saw the Lagos State Governor yesterday, and I think they would have left probably last night or this morning. But we're good to have them in the country.
It was interesting diversion from all the wahala happening in Nigeria. So I want to take the story from NDLEA. The press release this time is from Nima's area. They found multi-billion naira, 2 40-feet container loaded with 3.450 million pills of opioids. They had 344,000 bottles of codeine at Abule Ado, Amuwodofi local government area of Lagos State. They caught this
it's too close.
very, very close. It was just around trade fair. They said that when they found the trucks on its way, they apprehended the truck loaded with the drugs and then went ahead to apprehend the people who were in charge. They found them at the trade fair complex because the truck was on its way to the trade fair complex. It happened on Thursday, 9th of May. They also said that they, in Ekiti State, found a 75-year-old grandpa who was arrested with cannabis of 7.5 kilograms. Then, in mile 12, they found a car that had 37.5 kilograms of cannabis. Another person in... So, generally, different...
And Delhi is working.
Like, Nima, what's your story? Punch, you have a story? We should move on to Vanguard.
I took my story.
Okay, Vanguard very quickly. Manufacturing export limbs as revenue drops 166% to 778 billion naira. Sarah budget orders sue CBN over cybersecurity levy. Nigeria's oil production grows marginally by 4% to 1.28 million barrels per hour. Why power sector crisis won't end soon, says Joe Ajero. Ukwama Ewu, Delta government residents may clash over villagers' refusal to accept IDP camp. Rivers crisis, Tinubu won't take sides between Wike and Fubara, says presidency. Please, you can get the floor manager to come to the studio.
So we know that there's been this tug of war between the former governor of Rivers State and the present governor of Rivers State, and both of them, flexing is happening right now. The governor is saying he has to bring down the the House of Assembly quarters. He needs to demolish it. And from various accounts, but let me just take the special advisor on media and publicity. After the fire, I think the purpose is they cannot unite. They will never be able to have a what's it called, sit together. So, well, the special advisor on media and publicity to President Tinubu, Adri Ngelale, said that the president, some people are expecting him to take a side on this issue. The president would not take a side, and he will not allow any attempt to frustrate the Rivers governor as well. So he stated clearly that government is for the people and that the president would allow governors go on in Rivers State. He says, I believe that anyone who believes that their actions, that by their actions, whether it's from a federal level, state level, or legislative branch in the state, or the executive branch in the state, if they are banking on Mr. President to take side on this matter, they are mistaken. And they will be disappointed. Mr. President will not do that. Wow.
That is for Fubara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, with this statement.
With these statements, they have taken a side.
So I have a story, yes. The Okwama Ewu residents of Okwama Ewu community, Ewu clan in Ugeli South local government area of Delta State, may likely be heading for a collision with Delta State governments because they are refusing to accept the internally displaced persons, the IDP camps, being prepared for them at Ewu. We know what happened in Okwama recently, and a lot of them have been, sacked from their villages. Now they are planning to build an IDP camp, and the governor is actually planning to take it outside Okwama into the Ewu main community. But the people are, complaining about this. They said they like the fact that the governor has, that's Governor Sheriff Oborewuri, has finally been able to send away the soldiers that infiltrated the town and giving them back their town. However, they will not want to relocate the IDP camps to outside the place because they realized that just after the soldiers left, they found villagers and neighboring, citizens or neighboring residents coming into their own place to steal iron and other things that they have, loot their iron rods, their zinc, which now led to another bloodbath. But they're saying that they appreciate what the governor has done, but they would like to have that IDP camp inside Okwama so that they're not leaving their, neighborhood and where they already are accustomed to another place. But they're saying that before they are allowed to go into the IDP camps, it will be inaugurated by the governor. Work is already going on that. They are building about 400 capacity for, 400 people capacity for the IDP camps, and likely they may have to extend it. Let's see how that goes.
Okay, Tako, go ahead.
Okay, so I was going to take a story about how manufacturers, of course, the Nigerian government has a quest right now to diversify foreign exchange earnings away from oil. But they're saying it's not feasible because the manufacturers part of Nigeria is not working. Manufacturer exports has dropped by 166% to 778 billion. This is and the issues are several issues. Since 2019, there's been a downward trend, significant decline in our export capacity. We used to be at 1.5 trillion exports. but it dropped to less than 1 billion, and now it is 778 billion. Within the same period, manufacturing exports of even oil products also has dropped. So the World Bank has blamed our country for not putting in policies to encourage this. They gave their recommendations based on high transportation costs. They've said the topography, the poor roads, the insecurity, that the studies they've done has shown that if these things were put in place, would have had more exports, that it's cost 4 times higher to trade in Nigeria, within Nigeria, than in Ethiopia. And I mean, in Nigeria and Ethiopia than in the US, due to poor road infrastructure. To move things around is so expensive here than in other developed countries. Even as within Africa, South Africa has been able to increase their own exports as well, 15 times higher than what Nigeria has, with less land mass because of the infrastructure they have on ground. So, of course, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria would complain that they've been discussing this thing since this is what they can be done to help. Let's not play lip service to our desire to increase our foreign inflow into Nigeria. We cannot grow as an economy without exports. And while we're managing cash flow, we must be talking enough about how we're going to encourage Nigerian manufacturers to be able to export and bring in foreign exchange into Nigeria.
Moving on now to the Nigerian Tribune. Let's find a story we've not taken. 3 died, 21 injured in Ogun multiple road accident. 14 abducted Kogi varsity students rescued. FG planning tax relief for 95% of small businesses. Budget Serap 136 Nigerians sue CBN. Story? Any story we've not taken?
Yeah, such a sad story.
Okay, go on.
So the 3 people died. There were multiple injuries within the Ogun. This was recorded by the Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Corps. Babatunde Akimbi confirmed that the accident took place. Of course, it was because they were driving. Multiple road crashes that took place resulted in 3 people's death and 21 people injured. One on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. 5 vehicles were involved in the same crash. The cops, of course, were deposited at the Ota hospital, but a lot of these accidents could be avoided if we are not overspeeding. We want good roads, then you see good road, no more speed limits.
Okay, our final paper at the point very quickly. Indigenes slam Wike and Fubari concerning the rivers crisis. Tackling quackery difficult, Osun government admits as freed fake doctor returns to duty at illegal clinic. Police arrest commercial sex worker for biting off married man's tongue during sex romp.
Eh? Which one are you taking?
Well, is that one?
Is that one? Oh, I'll catch your eye.
A 31-year-old commercial sex worker, while trying to kiss her customer, bit off his tongue, and she's been arrested.
Bit off.
No be
now vampire.
Kissing Tom vampire. I don't get it. But she alleges that she met him using a lot of substances, Colorado cannabis, sativa, and he gave her some so that their sexual experience could be, more exciting.
They were in the high.
Yeah, they were high.
Oh no,
That they both took the drugs, and before next morning, when staff people come, they see blood everywhere. That's about the thing for me is how will Loga continue to explain his stuttering, because now certain areas of speech will be affected. He go be saying that because of my shower experience.
It's Monday. It's Monday, honey. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we move on to the hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
my 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, you for that long.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, it's the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to us? What is his name?
That woman.
Bam! Bam!
Yeah,
Today we'll go here.
Hey!
Let's get talk now.
I'm sure we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Pure entertainment.
Ikechukwu, Sunday, Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that thing that's.
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened. That
And it's called what again?
Subterfuge.
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 So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to become such. Yeah?
The nude wasn't like a game plan. Or...
I promise you, it was actually a mistake. Like it was sending it to someone, and it just mistakenly just went that.
Thanks for staying with us, ladies. We forgot to thank Fresh Fashola Organics. They sent us gifts, all the ladies of your view. We're so grateful to them. Thank you very much.
Thank
Fresh
you.
Fashola, for all
Fresh
the
Fashola.
Mama's Flavor Fiesta. We appreciate the gifts you sent to the ladies of your view. So this morning, our hot topic is very, very painful to have because it's about children. When it comes to parenting, we're all mothers on this table, and we get really concerned when kids abused in different ways. So this story by the Edo State Police Command, where they arrested a father who was alleged to have used his 4-year-old daughter for adult content. It followed an alert from Nigerians on social media that drew the attention of relevant authorities to the obscene photos of the minor posted on Instagram. Now, some of the photos include minor in suggestive poses, wearing a thong, and others. And it was quite appalling. It was a very, very unreal thing to see. But photos were taken at hotels in the company of our father, who is a grown man. We don't know if the man is probably even abused this girl in the past. We don't know these stories. But what are your thoughts on this? Because it comes back to the issue of parenting. The issue was how far is too far? Because I know this story, I think somebody took it during the paper review, where the man was saying that her role model is somebody from an Asian country, where she's just, modeling what that one is doing. But what are your thoughts on this, and especially the response of authorities? You can call us on 081-0764-1679, 090-241-63440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. If I start with Nima and PC, I would not say, let me come to you, Tokwe, because you can first of all douse the situation before they bring them in.
Before we start fighting.
There are multiple issues here. Yeah. There is, of course, the front-facing one is parenting challenges. The fact that parents are willing to do anything to commercialize their children to make money. Because this is not about the child's welfare. This is about the man making money from the child. I feel that the society needs to step up to protect children from poor parents, because poor parents would repeat the same vicious circle. If you don't have good parenting, if you had no good model, you're most likely going to repeat that same thing. And social media, we need to tighten and protect people, especially from social media. A lot of indecent exposure is taking place. Small children are being used as content creators. Children, minors, people who on their own. And we've seen how it happens in the developed world. We've seen a lot of those that we call celebrities now who were heavily traumatized. Some later committed suicide at the end of their life because they just felt like they never had a normal life. And while looking at them, we're not looking at the entire picture of what it takes. I would love to see this man seriously, like, it's not a case of just take him to court and let him pay some fines. No, there should be proper treatment for that girl. That girl at 4 not be able to make those poses. Those poses are not normal poses.
They're too advanced.
Those poses, even me, I would be shy to do those poses.
Struggle to make those poses.
Yes, that child needs psychological help, and that child should be offered psychological help. The parents said need psychological therapy.
Let me come to you.
That's not an adult. That man is not an adult in that
What are your thoughts on this video?
So when I saw the video, I just knew that the man is not psychologically fit to be a parent. He's not fit to near any child. And I was asking myself, what got him to a point where he exposed this girl to an Asian sex actress? What was the conversation?
Thank you.
How did they get there? Because, at that age, you don't even put anything that is suggestive to a child. But how do you get, now she knows the child, she knows that the child is her role model. How do you have that kind of role model for a 4-year-old? So there are lots of things that we are not seeing in this. I want to strongly believe that investigation should be carried out. That girl would likely have been abused back to back to back to back to back. Her innocence has already been taken away from her, from what we're already seeing in the pictures. And now the excuse of he was trying to blow, comedy is not working, and then he has decided to use the child. People should support the child. She's a model. Is that how to be a model for that age? Where is the mother of this child? Where are the family members? Are they living in isolation? Is there anybody around them who sees this sort of thing and then takes away their face? Because we need to start calling out ourselves. When you see a child dress in a certain way for a particular age that's not appropriate, you that you're around, what do you say to that child? What do you say to the father or the mother of that child? Why is this child dressing this way? Why is this child not dressing like a child? Children are supposed to be protected, their innocence protected, and the first point of security and protection is usually the parents. Unfortunately, some children are not blessed with parents who can protect them. Now, that is where the family members come into play. That is where the society come into play. And that is where also the police. Now, the police has said that they are going to give him a form of counseling. It's not just counseling, he needs to be flogged, first of all. While they are counseling, they are adding flogging, they're adding therapy to it. I will not say prosecute him, because if you really sit him and talk to him, you will find out that something is wrong with him, mentally.
Let me come to you, Nima, your initial thoughts on this.
Okay, I don't think he has any mental health issues. I think he's a very deliberate, intentional, bad person. He's a wicked, bad person, and probably this child is already groomed. More exposed and even further abused than we think. So we only saw pictures. But for a child to find it comfortable, because I know children, my kids, they don't find it comfortable when I try to take off their clothes in public. Talk less of ask them to pose in their clothes. So the innocence of a child comes with the way God has wired them. But it's someone, an adult who says, okay, see this picture, do like this, do like that. And so an adult who should be in protective capacity, doing that, because he says kids not work, is wicked of that parent. Now, my husband used to say every time, we say, we never see our generation of parenting, we are even not getting it as perfect as we would like. We never see Gen Z parents. And this, when I saw it, that statement came to my head immediately, where anything goes. The sad part is the police should have first of all taken that child
away.
Because the person who should protect the child is the abuser. There's no warning. He knows what he's doing. He's very clear as to what he's doing. You want to tell me that in the whole family, there's no one here or come there, one grandmother
that would have seen him.
Said, wait be this. Go don't want them because they are from Auchi. That would have said this thing, could they can't wear clothes for the pikin. Somebody would have said, told the person, that's what the world is doing now. You have social media handle. But you know,
let me come in there for a second. Because for me, I'm not one to always throw government first. But in this situation, I really do think it's a failure of government system or systems. Because there has to be a system in place that everybody knows that a child is protected. Before I even have this child can be taken away from me if I don't take this child. So that the fear of am I ready to have this child? Now when you now have this child, there are lots of things around, either in school, the neighborhood, where you can say, this child can be reported, I can be reported. Either somebody in the community, as you said, maybe we don't have any, somebody. But there are structures in place where a parent knows that somebody will find out this thing and they will be arrested.
The government structure is very important, but we can't afford. The government has bigger problems than to create the structure for this. That's the truth. At this time, this is not. They can't afford it. They have many other things that they are like life and death holding them. But so what we can do is our communal support, the communal structure. So this person was posting it online and was tagging people so they don't take down his page. This person obviously does not understand clarity of what is right and what is wrong. I am sure the man probably is addicted to watching pornography and all those kind of things and has exposed the child to it. So some people are not fit to be parents and they shouldn't be. That's the thing. If you cannot be responsible or if you cannot handle the responsibility of nurturing another human being, you shouldn't become a parent. That is why you would now decide to plan your financial plan is on your daughter blowing as a 4-year-old. That's the financial plan. He did not blow, so he is now exposing his daughter on social media as his own financial plan that if this boy
blows, the rationale, Nima, that it's my child. It's my child. It's my property.
No, it's not your child.
So the thing is that it's my child. My own child. I can do my child whatever I choose to do.
No, you can't use. Until that child is 18, well, thank God we have the Child's Rights Act across all the states. I don't know, I think, yes, most of the states. You cannot use a person without their consent, even if it is your child. Those statements, I go beat to kill you and me born you. All those statements, they are abolished. They can't work.
Where is the mother of this child, though?
Exactly. Now, there are ways that the states can, attend to this issue. Even without a system of social workers and, a proper social system, they can take this child from him and look for another competent relative closest to him who will come and sign an undertaking for a proper protective home for this child to be raised. This danger is we see pictures. you know, I followed the story to Twitter because on Twitter you will get more details. And the child was already being groomed with his friends where he takes drugs.
Oh, yeah.
She was, you know, taken in a picture where they were already smoking. You don't know whether he's already pawning this child
Jesus.
out to people. So this matter is not a soft matter. It's the way the police reacted to it. Because Olumiwa the people from Abuja said that the state commissioner of police on top of it, they will cancel him. This is not a counseling issue. That child should be taken away from him. He's a danger to the child. All the places that child attended, pictures are online. They have the child in a club. He took that child almost nakedly clad to a club.
So a 4-year-old
in bikini. That child should not be with him. If he doesn't have a mother, there's no proper adult within his family, then the child should,
Let me take this
should be taken to a home.
Charles calling from Anambra. Thanks for calling, Charles. Oh, I'm sorry I lost that call. I mean,
go ahead. The child also looks malnourished. That belle no be like say food.
No,
No, you know, be like say better food enter the belly. So only God knows how long this child has been working to even bring food to the table. He may have been, you know, at a very early age, giving her to, you know, their friends after they have taken all those their nonsense and then pass around and they are able to drop something for him to survive on. That's why I also say I understand the part of being intentional, but he's sick. Because if you're intentional about grooming your child for their talent, you will find something the child can do and you start showing it on social media. There's nobody stopping you.
Dancing.
Even if he's dancing, this child can dance, or the child can sing, or the child can do artwork or craft or whatever. You groom that healthy aspect of the child and then you post and then you start having likes. Gradually people will start knowing the child for their talent. So something is definitely wrong with him. He should be
okay, guys, just because I want to throw in a
hospital.
Just because I need to throw a spanner into this conversation. Porn stars were once children, right?
Did they start as children?
They probably started as a kid.
No.
Wait, I'm just telling you that the mentality and psychology of these people is so that what he's thinking in his head is that this is your role model.
His daughter to be
for you to be this chin chuan chin, this chon chuan chan that is your role model. You need to start learning it now. For you to be successful because there's a market for it.
Yes, how did she see the chin chuan chan? So be the role model. Who exposed her to the children?
We are products of our environment.
Let me pause you for a second. I'm sorry, it's okay. I want to take this call from Elizabeth and I'll come to you. Elizabeth, you're live.
Pain in my chest.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
What I said, you know, this question first time, I try to call sometimes, but it doesn't go through. What I see for this social media as the means of making money. And that's what this is. He's using what he has as his gift to get money. And then what I feel because is that maybe social media too needs regulated. It needs to be regulated. As we are talking, no, there are some parts that may even impacting him. And you know all those areas in those, no, they are institutions. I'm sorry. He may want to exploit this child. He may even make the child go into child institution.
I can't hear
her. One line is that.
Thank you very much. Elizabeth, let me.
Was a generalization that I feel we should put out. The Edo State government, NAPTIP, all of them have made a strong stand against generalizing that women in this area are known for prostitution.
Is that what she said?
Was just insinuating that maybe
I didn't get that part.
That was what I had to. Maybe he wanted to groom her so that they can take her abroad and she then bring.
That's a mindset.
It's a mindset, but there's a lot of work going on to change it. So I'm expecting the First Lady of Edo State to stop, to speak up. This is election period. This would be a good thing to use to do your campaign. But beyond that, let us provide a safe space for children. That in every local government, there must be places where you can go to. If you see a child being abused, it's not all family members. Family members are struggling to feed their own family. Might not be able to say, bring your child and stay in my house, or I will take this child from you. So we must create that structure where you can report situations when they go wrong. Empowerment does not have to be giving women some tools to work, we can empower by providing safe space for children and women as well. This girl needs a lot of therapy. This girl needs a lot of help. This girl needs, like, she needs to be hypnotized and they should wipe out everything that has been put into her head.
Put a birthday bash flyer and put her there.
Yes, and hypnotize her because they want to imagine what this child has seen and what she has gone through. Besides, on social media, this tagging, she was tagging known people, which means that we have a responsibility. They can report that page. And the social media applications, they won't do this in other countries where it is not accepted. So we must create a system where the application knows you cannot, this thing is not, it will be flagged down.
Let me go on a short break. When we come back, we'll wrap up on this. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger,
take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
I know I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born in 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Anikulapo Kuti. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this man, and based on the angle the police is coming through, is the state of mind. They are talking about the state of mind. They believe that this man doesn't know what he's doing. Many, because going by the messages he sent out, he's saying like, one Niger, we can't do comedy because we no help her. This is what we can do. She's the model. Help to promote her. And that message said, we have come a long way. Please stop reporting this page. Thank you all. she'll be happy when she grows up to know many people love her in the world. Oh, wow. That's my plan for her as a father. So in his own head, I'm giving you a platform to express yourself because I know you like this person. So we're trying to build your career, make you popular and known. And when you're a certain age, you can now live that life.
Because he's a madman, first of all. But we Nigerians too are mad people. That page has close to 9,000 followers. Who are the people following? Who are the people who are comfortable coming online, seeing a young child almost naked and doing some terrible things that you will not pray for your enemy's child to do, and you like, and you are following? Who are the people? We need to talk to ourselves, because we are the ones enabling all this nonsense. Once it doesn't affect us, for those people who even have small sense, and we are able to protect our own, every other person, Nagarawa, once it's not my child, I don't care. You go there, you like the pictures, you make comments there, and the page is growing. 9,000 human beings following that child.
It could be Nigerians.
Following that naked, they're Nigerians. They're Nigerians. How do they find it?
And this Chinchon Chimp thing,
she's not in Chinchon Chimp. She's not there.
The point I'm trying to make is that
here.
people like for the market for things like this is out there. It's international. This child pornography thing is mostly international.
It's international. We have pedophiles here.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm just saying that the market for it, the same way we have a gay community here, but they're not really out there. We know they exist.
I see plenty yesterday.
We know they exist. So the same thing. So there are pedophiles. There are pedophiles across the world. Honey, now in this country, so the point I'm just trying to tell you that don't assume that the 9,000 are Nigerians. That is a good mix of foreigners.
I want to assume that the 9,000 are Nigerians. You know why? Because we pretend a lot. So we have one public face, and we have a private face, and we have a secret face. And most of the people that he's marketing this child to are Nigerians. Most of them are his friends. Most of them are his neighbors. So let's not deceive ourselves that Yibo people that are following that child. The way that child is, Yibo person is following them.
Let me take Elvis. Good morning, Elvis. I'll come to you. Hello, Elvis. You're live.
Wicked people.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I feel even that person at the studio that took that picture is supposed to be arrested.
He's the photographer. The father is the photographer.
Oh, he's a photographer.
Yeah, he's a photographer.
So, which means he knows what he's doing. He's not as if he has a mental issue. He knows what he's doing. So, and all those things. When I went further to check for the pictures on IG, Twitter, I realized that there are some pictures that even the girl was in an hotel room with him and his friends, and they were smoking. So if believers, I think they need to do something about that child, and they should take that child away from him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's the point I wanted to make too. The gravity of what he has done. We have not seized the opportunity as a learning curve to stop, to deter other people from considering it. Our Child Rights Act prevents anybody from using. That's an abuse of a child in any form that exposes them to harm, exploitation. This guy just exploited this child. To say that, you're grooming, you're putting out there, you're building a page and numbers, we know it's commercial. And it's illegal in our country. Not be saying it's even forbidden. It's even forbidden in the words of God. It is not something that we should treat with the kind of levity of talking about a counseling session. If he was a photographer and couldn't find an adult muse to snap, there's a problem when you turn to a toddler and you put her in this kind of exploitative. Where is our, what's it called, nap tip? Where are they on this issue?
I said nap tip should take it
up. This issue? Those states must have a sexual agency. They do. So nobody should say the commissioner for police should handle it with kid gloves. This man should be made a scapegoat, because we know parents. Now, a caller made a point. I just need to emphasize that point. Because I remember back in 100 level, we're doing our induction into what they call matriculation. And somebody jokingly said to me, I am from that state. All of you girls are Sherwood there. We know the past, we know the history, and we know how hard everybody of note, of influence, worked to change that narrative in the state. We cannot allow let me not use the word.
Let me take a call.
To start it again.
Let me take this call. Ade is calling from London.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're live.
Good morning, lady.
Morning.
Yes. My fear is this. This is bad, and this is very sad. But have you ever sat down and thought about it that
in about 15 years' time, there will be many youth in Nigeria, they will not know where they come from. They will not know where their parents come from because they are a product of baby factory all over Nigeria. What do you think about those children when they grow up in another 15, 20 years? They don't know their father, they don't know their mother, and they'll be running the school. You can think of the worst scenario that will happen, even more than this. So those who father those children, or who adopt them or whatever, you can imagine what they will do with them. So this is very sad, and you must follow this to the last, please.
Okay.
God bless you.
It's not every parent is of sound mind to raise the child.
Yes.
So society needs to be able to step up. Community needs to step up. The idea of it's not my business should no longer happen. And even if society and people cannot step up, there must be a platform for us to report. There are orphanages. There are orphanages that can take up this child and help this child through that journey. I know that even the Port Harcourt I went to, the church has an orphanage. The Akure I went to, Reverend Funke has an orphanage. My own church pastor, they have an orphanage. We have some of these organizations because Nigeria is a self-help country. All of us are helping ourselves on this journey.
We
are waiting for governments to be able to solve the bigger problems. We are using small ways to solve it, but we cannot solve it selfishly. We must become more selfless. You cannot say it's not my child or it's not my responsibility. I don't know the person. Everybody must get involved one way or the other. Until we take up that responsibility, then we can clean up our society. Because if you don't raise, your own child that you raise well will not be polluted by the one that was not raised well. So everybody must be involved.
Let me now link this story to our other topic concerning the NDLEA death sentence. Because I know that earlier, this last Thursday, the Senate had wanted to, they approved the death penalty as punishment for those involved in the manufacturing manufacturing and processes of dangerous drugs, as well as traffickers of hard drugs in the country. It also approved 15 years imprisonment without the option of fine for those who consume hard drugs, given the havoc being created by substance and drug abuse in Nigeria. Now, I'd like to link that to this because when we talk about children, pedophilia, abuse, and molesting, exploitation of children, some people would try to advocate for death penalty for persons found guilty in this regard. But the Senate here were trying to actually get a sentence for those dealing in hard drugs and involved in drug abuse. In your view, do you think this child's case, this 4-year-old case, is an instance in which death penalty should be considered? Or, as the police, PPRO has said, rather they should rehabilitate the adults in this regard? What do you think?
So
let's talk about death penalty for a second.
If this child was used by the father to traffic, because this happens, where was the child gains popularity and is now, an influence. The parents, because they're abusers, they're exploiters anyway, they exploited all the way to the popularity, can use her for, that purpose. If such a thing were to happen, I will not even blink on the death sentence thing. But because where we are now, there's a rehabilitation point, reformation, that's what our prison system is for. That father should be separated from the child and served him for exploiting abusively that child and putting her in harm's way to abusers. Now, when he comes out, we pray that he is reformed and is reunited with the child. By that time, she's more mature. We will not have the stories where we read every time on Metro News on our human interest stories on how my father abused me since I was a child. That's the point here. The levity of what he has done, or the gravity of what he has done right now, is one that deserves imprisonment.
So let's bring it now to death penalty, because I've always said that we need something drastic in the laws, and some are saying that no, it's not everything that should be that we need those kind of drastic measures. So we're talking about drug abuse in a moment, but let's start with this issue of this girl exploiting a minor in this regard. Do you think it deserves the penalty of death penalty?
No, I don't think it. How many people will you kill? I feel like...
I have to pause. Your mic is... Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gents, help welcome to the show, La General, the one and only Pere Egbe. Which of the following is false about teeth? We are born with 20 primary teeth. Teeth are the hardest substance in the body. Teeth are the strongest bones in the body.
Teeth is not a bone, actually.
Teeth can self-repair.
The strongest bone in the body, no. Teeth is not a bone.
Final answer?
Teeth is not a bone. You know what came to my head now? That sound. Crickets.
So, editor, you can put that cricket sound there. You can still put it down too.
When was the first Gulda ultimate search? Editor?
Don't put any cricket sound. I'm talking. Okay, Pere. How many times has Ghana qualified for the World Cup?
5 times. Hey, you can't do that now.
That's what it is.
Wait. Calm down. Why are you like this?
This is your team.
Small play now.
They will not
Somebody cannot play with you again.
They will not be impressed though. The team that you're supporting. And
Ghana will be alright.
Yeah, that's last.
Charlie? Cheers, Charlie.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter concerning the child who has been exploited by her father. And we're discussing first about if we think the death penalty should be considered, since it was being considered last week for drug traffickers and peddlers. But should this be considered also for rapists? Rapists has been approved already. Rapists, pedophilia, people who molest children. These are things we've seen and we're going back and forth. Do you think it should be also be considered in that regard before we now come to the other angles of the story? Yeah.
I strongly believe that we can consider death penalty for pedophile. Anybody that pedophilia, if you abuse, if you sexually molest a minor, I totally agree with death penalty. As long as they're able to prove the case, they've gone through the tests, the rape kit and all of that, and it proves that somebody has abused a minor, I do not in any way mind death penalty. But because I realize we're in a country where people are able to slide away from the law and escape with things. And where we are now, we need those stringent law. When we have now achieved a level of stability where there is law and order, we can now say, oh, we are now emotionally intelligent people. We don't want to do harsh death penalty. But at this stage, where we are as a country, because I look at even with corruption, look at the countries that are able to fight it. Before I was always, I feel like everybody is reasonable, but when you see some people, you be like, let me not judge everybody by my standards. I'm not on this side of the fence.
It's okay. It's
but
okay.
I have realized that sometimes you need, for you to achieve the change you want, you need harsh
to start off.
Harsh to start off, then later you now bring it down. For now, I agree with the harsh rule.
Yeah.
Yes, do you think we should have a death penalty for someone like this?
Before, yeah. It's not a question. Because the painful thing for me, especially when it comes to the issue of drugs, is how accessible they are. A call away, a text away, you can get
dispatch away.
A dispatch away, you can get it. It's so accessible. When we travel and go to other countries and you hear people saying that you can't even mention this kind of thing, we can't even get this kind of thing, we can't even access this kind of thing. I had a medical doctor friend who relocated to Dubai at some point. He could not even go to some sites, and he was calling his Nigerian friends to send him some videos because everything was just blocked. I've always believed that I see Nigeria as like our father. And the father should always know better in different situations, right? Now, no matter how much you think your children have grown, they are able to make some decisions. As a father, you should be able to step back and say, this one and this one is not working for you. I would protect you whether you like it or not from this one. When we now get to a level where you can now take the decisions, I will allow you to do what it is. And that's what Tope just, said now, that we haven't gotten to that point where most of us can think for ourselves. Some of us can, right? Some of us can choose better. Some of us are seeing life, and some of us are constantly developing ourselves. Well, how many, if you check the statistics, how many? Some of us are so deeply ingrained in poverty that we don't see beyond that. And we must have a government that protects people who suffer from things like that, so that it doesn't keep affecting us as a nation and pulling us backwards. So if we have those stringent laws, the death penalty and all of that, castration, is to deter. It's not like we are waking up, we just want to be killing people, we are vampires now, want to suck blood. But you know that if you are caught, see, even a madman, you don't see madman with a flocking, they sit up, they run. You see a madman harassing people in the street. There was one that happened, growing up. Anytime he sees anybody, he's beating them, he's harassing them, he's breaking bottles. When boys came and flogged him, he calmed down.
So to add to what you're saying, because a lot of these people watch online, social media, TikTok, and all the various social platforms, and they see that they are child models across the world. There are people who use their children in so many regards that even in some countries, some states in the US, is illegal. Others, they will still find a way around the laws. But you see it, and just to butter what you're saying, that in their own society, somebody is saying, okay, I want you to be a model. I want my child to start modeling. And give her in a bikini, put her in a bathing suit, dance around her. We're trying to make her into this person. They have child pageants that they do, that they train these kids to do these kind of things. But now, you are in Nigeria now, you now see that, that guy, they have millions of followers, so let me use my child. I have a 4-year-old, I might as well just use her also. Put her out there. It goes back to the fact that, first of all, in our society, it's totally, completely unacceptable. And even, the system, unfortunately, doesn't protect the child in that situation, because over there, the system can protect the child. So even though you do modeling, there's so much you can do. There's some lines you cannot cross. But here, we don't have that system to protect that child. So if you go, okay, we have the lines, but it's not in there first.
Thank you. We have in fact, life plenty. It's not for lack of laws that we don't see results.
It's the enforcement.
You see, when this death penalty for drug traffickers was approved, I felt slightly positive and negative. I wasn't so sure, because we've approved for kidnapping, but yet kidnapping is thriving. In fact, they celebrate Wadume in his village.
When he came back.
A non-kidnapper. He was tried in a court here, and they did not even focus on the substance of that area of his offense. The investigation was warped from beginning to end, so that he got a a lesser punishment. Evans is still on trial. He has not been convicted. So you'll be wondering, say that the law we need a proper enforcement. At least let them even get 40-something years in jail. And the 40-something years, they are serving it. That's the problem. How good are we going to enforce it? How diligently are we going to enforce it enough to deter? It's not for the Senate have done their job. The National Assembly has done their job. They've made the laws. When they come and we say, did you not hear they kidnap? You just say one senator answer, did you not hear we passed the law? We hear all those things all the time. When they throw it back at you as if, we have the police now saying, no, child exploitation in this form. It's a counseling matter. We'll counsel him. You'll be wondering, this one that evidence complete, you say you cancel. How do we continue? Where do we go? How do we go?
Let me take this call from Pastor Desmond. Thanks for calling. You're live. You lost that call.
Sorry, Pastor. I want to say that as a society, we have not defined what we want. So everything on Instagram is defining us. What is trending on TV, movies define us. We have not said this is who Nigerians are. This is how we identify. This is what we do. In the North, we accept this age for marriage. But this is where it ends. If you come towards the middle area, this is where it ends. If you go towards the southeast, this is where it ends. We must define who we are. As long as we have not taken this is our identity, then one day somebody can say, I'm a boy, but I like to dress like a girl. I am still a boy, but I like to do this thing. We would have a bunch of confused people like we're already seeing in the Western world. We must decide as a country. We have them here. This is who we are. We cannot stand this. This does not work. Some countries woke up and said, technology like this will not be here. Even if you use VPN, you will still struggle with those technology. Why? They defined who they were and pushed it. A country hosted World Cup. Bad as it bad, they insisted on the things they wanted within their country, and the entire world conformed. So at the end of the day, the biggest challenge is an identity challenge. When we don't know who we are, today this will work, tomorrow this will work.
Let's move into now, still on this topic, let's move into the angle of child content. Many people always shy against putting their kids out there because the truth is that the numbers, with kids have a funny way. So kids do the darndest things. So it gives you the numbers. You get your kids are funny, they're doing stuff. So today's mother, today's father, today's parents, they don't totally refrain from posting about their kids because it's actually good material. And the world the kids are growing up into is a world of content. It's whoever is able to build that content. I was telling my kids the other day, people are watching TikTok and all these kids, child skit. You are 4 of you. You cannot sit down together and put a skit and let us post on social media and get the numbers because you can't just be watching. Haven't you gotten inspiration? All these months and do your own. Let us, because that's the world we are in right now, where where we are is that how do you get creative to stay ahead of the content skills?
So I love content. I love kids content. There was a time a few years back where I was, what was the name I called this? On one of my YouTube pages where I'll gather the children together. Their cousins came for holiday. They were a lot younger. And then I'll be asking them questions about friendship, questions about, envy, questions about, and I was getting their thoughts. And it was so interesting to know that these kids know stuff, They will talk, they will pass on the mic and everybody was talking. It's really interesting. I've always wanted to do children's content. But to what extent am I going to do that content? Do I now put all my family issues inside using these children to create content that I negate their natural abilities to grow right? So we must think about what we want to show our children at an early age. By the time they become adults, they can choose whatever. If my daughter comes tomorrow and says she wants to model, of course I modeled, But I remember the first time a guy came to my compound in Asaba. I was 14. I met my father and said that he wanted me to model. He was actually a brother to Stephanie Okereke. Stephanie Okereke was already modeling. She did MBG and all of that. And he was like promoting young models. And he came to my compound. My father said, if I see you here again, I'll break your leg. She has to finish school. She has to finish secondary school. I'm not going to allow her go into the streets and, who are you? I don't know you. I can't trust you with my, daughter. So we should encourage our children to work with their natural talents. Wearing bikini and doing sexy stuff is not a natural talent. That's not a talent. What talents do your children naturally have? Are they good in singing? Push them. Let them have a voice coach to train them. Let them perfect the singing. Do they play instruments? Push them. Let them play instruments. Do they cook? Whatever they do they write books? I have a child that's an author right now. That's healthy content. When she's having conversations with her friends, she's showing them her book. I wrote a book. It's on this platform. That's healthy content. If tomorrow she says she wants to come and start talking, I won't stop her. But I will follow the content that she's posting. There was a time she did a video at home. She danced, and when I saw the video, I was like, no, we're not going to post this now. That's not who we are. So let your children understand who they are. Understand the crown on their head, the price that they're carrying. Yes, the values that you have. Unfortunately, many of us really do not have values. So you cannot give what you do not have. Yeah. So what we see now is the decadence of the values. It tells on the children that are posting the content. And then we expect Nigerians to hold their hands together and say, this one will not allow, this page will take it down. This is not what we promote in the help the person, even if the person does not understand.
Let me take Aramide from Agege. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I told God because I tried to come for a long period of time.
Okay. I can't hear you very well, but go ahead.
So the thing is, based on what I'm saying this morning, there are different ways and children can actually move into the entertainment industry, into modern life, without having to go nude or naked. Because I have a lot of people die photographing, lots of fathers die into photography, and they want their children to be in that line of showbiz world, then introduce.
I didn't hear. I'm sure our viewers at home are probably hearing her, but we didn't hear her in the studio. But thank you very much, Aramide, for calling. So going back to child content, because as I said, the world we're living in right now, kids provide content. People have kids using for comedy, laughing. I mean, even girls little girls that want to go into singing, start from age as small as 3, 4. They're already, and their parents are putting them there. And you see them at all these game reality shows where the
answer questions.
Where they answer questions and everything. So there's nothing wrong
We watched Emanuela grow up in front of us. Emanuela is this comedian. She was this young girl. I think it was like
on our show.
I don't think. Yeah, has she been on our show? No. She's now a teenager, but she started like everything was like 9 or. Maybe, I don't know, but she was really small. Maybe she was a small-statured person. Right. And Emanuela was so funny. She just says anything, and everybody would just laugh. And she gathered a lot of followers, made a lot of money for the guy. I forgot the name of the guy that put her up.
Mark Angel.
Put her on YouTube and literally changed Mark Angel's life. But Emanuela was not sexualized.
At all.
Emanuela was not abused. Emanuela was talking about the realities of what was happening. She was just being a funny kid. Funny way. So we're not against content creation
to children
with children, because life now has become our everyday life has become content. So each family will define what is acceptable, but as a society, we will say anything that does not protect the child should not be put as a content online. Anything that will commercialize a child, anything that will sexualize a child, anything that would affect the child's psychology. I believe children should be allowed to play. And sometimes when we are doing this content thing, children now they are working harder than adults. So even as we are doing content, there must be, and I think globally they will get to that point where even children who are generating content must be given time to be kids and play.
Thank you. You have hit the point. It's not a child's business to create content. The adult is the one creating content, and it depends on how you now, elicit the help of the child or use the child. The child's business is to go to school, be a child, play, have a beautiful childhood till you get to adulthood. If an adult decides to create content and he needs a child's character, he must protect the child. Get a contract, even if it's your own child, put a trust together, put funds together to pay that child for what you're using that child for. And you must protect the child. The content cannot expose the child to harm or danger.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not a child's business to create content. Don't sit in your home and say, child, create content. No. Emanuela, I hope that she was paid. I really do hope. You see, my son, there was a time I said I will write a script of mommy and son time because my son has a lot of comedy. I can only write it and hope that another child is brought in to act it. But to think I will sit down and it's such a big distraction for adults to create content, talk less of a child. The child won't focus on other things. It's not something we should. I think we should explore. Explore this area with all sense of
decency
and decency.
Sure.
As a nation.
Yeah.
It's a global conversation because not just here. Across the world, parents are having to have this conversation. Like, okay, how far is too far? I mean, even back in the day, before social media came, there were issues with beauty pageants growing up, where the kids, little 4-year-olds, are wearing lipstick, makeup, and they're wondering, why is your child on the runway doing makeup? So those issues will always be there. But as you said, we should use it. We should be very cautious and have some kind of decency when we're doing children's content. So we're not against children's content either way, but we also remember it's the adult that is doing the content, not the child. So because of that, we must respect the rights of the child and protect the child.
Says she's tired, let the child rest.
And some kids take their kids to salons and they are fixing the wig for the child. The child is suffering. So they all speaking, say you want to do photo shoot.
And they'll do lashes and all of that. And let children be children. If you are recording that moment where they are naturally being children and you find a way to make that content viable for social media, yes, but let's not turn children into...
Yeah, I've seen that video where they're trying to dry the girl's hair, pinning the hair.
The mother held that so much. For the poor girl, while she was crying and fretting, the child is
So we need to find, so how do we fix that? Because there are lots of mothers out there right now. They have kids,
they must make
pretty beautiful kids. You should be a mother.
Let's start your cash cow.
Thank you.
Your children are not your... As children, you should be the one to take care of them, not them taking care of you. Don't plan your finances and your money around how your children will make money for you. Even as children and even as adults.
The same thing as
once that is not there, the work of taking care of a child will not make you turn the child to content creator.
So the stand we took against kids walking while they are doing science is it just put the two together and think which one is worse. In those days, parents would say, okay, the reason I born plenty children so that I can, is that the economic empowerment, so that I don't have to earn, employ laborers, and I have more kids.
Go to the farm.
When the child is under 18, the country took a stand. We had the Child's Rights Act passed. We had states taking stands. First lady started the NGOs and taking a stand. The children should be in school. Now we have gotten to contents. We don't know that the two are even closely. Can
I just even mention
even worse.
That school? I'm so sorry. That's the school. We spoke about that school last week. That the school sent the child back home, only for us to see video evidence that this child is a content creator.
Oh, wow.
And that there are times, weeks, this child will not come to school. Weeks. And when she comes, they'll say she was in Lekki shooting content.
Imagine.
Then they sent letter to the parents to say, come, the parents did not show up. The child will come to school late. There's a video of the child wearing uniform on her way to school. Yes. And the child was saying, you're going to be late. You are doing video. The girl turned around and posed for the video on her way to school that she was going to be late. So we are talking the impact of content creation on school.
The irresponsibilities of adults towards children. So that's a good example to re-emphasize how important this content creation are for irresponsible parents. So it's crucial. It's a financial projected move for you.
Yes. You're just seeing the child.
I take your point. Let me go in the shop because I'll come back so I can take you. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
This is 7 of 7. My name is OJ and signing a sobriety into my hands tonight on this social experiment called the 7 of 7. It's Owen G. What is the name? Or what was the name?
You see, I want to make them better now.
Rockheart.
No, of the goats. When they brought it on stage.
The name of that goat?
Yeah.
We should go there.
No, that one easy now.
I'm just drinking this so that I can ask him my own questions. It's not because of
Buga.
He didn't get it. You know. Okay. Mention 10 female stand-up comedians in Nigeria. See, just mention their stage name. If you annoy me, you will mention their real names and the year they started. And if you annoy me further, you mention the names of their husbands and the names of their children. Try me now. Okay, mention their name.
No, let's just...
No, wait. No, don't, no. Name, Real name, stage name, husband name, children name, 10 of them.
Even the 10, that's a lot.
Eh?
That's a lot.
Did I cut your question for you?
Yes.
When you were happy now. With your hunchback.
That was it.
You are wasting time. We don't have time. See, my brother, before we go on a commercial break, you are stubborn. And I told you since. The fact that you play this your hair does not mean. You understand? See this bad hair you are looking at. It's experience. I've suffered before you.
But I try now.
When you there during the military era of Abacha and Babangida, you know what happened?
I be Gen Z.
So that Gen Z, I will remove 4 out of 10.
That's like
4 out of 10 they pass exam. Don't drink this thing. Where baby you are on here? Drink am. If I land you.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter. We'll take a few comments on social media. You see any?
So,
take some.
Yes, let me take. Somebody says, here in Europe, Nigerians always say that to exclude themselves as Nigerians to generalize. They're talking about how we are, our identity stuff. To Nigeria says, ask yourself why they are never called death penalty for senior public, why they have not called for death penalty for senior public officials that steal from Nigeria, that actually result in the loss of lives.
That one can be added.
Omoge Nigeria says, parents need to understand that digital footprint follows one for life in the 21st century. Imagine this child applying for a position in the future and losing it because of the unsavory content posted way back.
Abisola says, thank you, Nima. As a parent, I won't like to put my children all out there. It's a lot of distraction. We don't allow children to be children again. It's so sad. So I wanted to, before we went on the break, to say that, unfortunately, most of these parents do not know better. There's something they say in NLP that we do to the ability that we know, right? You may from your own place, because you're sane and probably you've had a good foundation and you understand some of these things, but another person from their background may not even understand some of these things, especially if you grew up from a home where your parents even used you for themselves. Now you think that's the way parenting is, and you want to use your children for yourself, and it keeps, that generation just keeps going. So what we need to do as a people is to keep educating ourselves, keep talking about it. We should have jingles. I don't know, when I travel, I see a lot of jingles calling out different things in different stations, in different languages, for people to understand that this is prohibited, this is not allowed. Your child is your first, you are the first point of protection for your child, you are the first point of this for your child. We talk about it so that people now begin to understand the long-term implications of what they are doing. A lot of parents do not understand. In their head now, we're living in the moment. It's about just doing this content, getting followers, making money. When that child down the line starts getting depressed, starts missing out in schools and proper life activities, and starts tracing it back to how you treated the child, then you have done what you have done, you have moved on, you're forgetting about it. And unfortunately for our country, we do not allow our children to feel a certain way. We don't allow them to name their emotions. So it's not that small thing. Please go and sit down. Why are you crying? Why are you doing this?
Talking about children, let's link it back again to drug abuse, because it goes back to the same thing. Those vices, kids using these drugs, and parents not being aware, or parents being lackadaisical to how you raise your children. It's okay to expose them to your friends sexually. It's okay to expose them to drug, to weed, to cannabis, because that's your lifestyle. So who is protecting the child from drug abuse, sexual exploitation,
and protecting the child from alcohol?
Alcohol. Exactly. Kids are drinking alcohol.
And the truth is, they said, if children that drink alcohol before they are 12 have a lifelong dependency on alcohol.
Before they are 21. Dr. Yewande Oshodi was on our show when she said she was a psych.
Before 21 is far. Before 12.
Yeah.
You drink before 12. You can have a lifelong, dependency on alcohol. And parents don't know. Some parents don't know this. That's why we do this on the show. It's not just to castigate or yab anybody. It's to educate that that cigarette you are smoking by the side and your son is running around. He's also doing second-hand smoking. And he's also imbibing a habit that will not pay the person long-term. That might have long-term psychological effect on that child. Your child carry your bottle and drinks it, and you're watching, just like, in a small pikin, nothing there than a small. That small is already growing into the child. We need to educate adults because an uneducated adult would destroy the lives of the children around the person. So let's take it as a communal thing. I'm helping, Nima is helping me. There are things Nima is helping me to do. There are things BC is helping me to do. That they're like, this is your child. Why is she doing? Hey, your child are not greeting. I say, you don't greet. Your children are not greeting too. You're already raising. So there's a consciousness of communal raising our children together.
I'd like to go to a topic, an angle that we've not touched on. The role of our first ladies, the role of our local government chairman. You know, because there was a time where being a first lady was like you get a pet project and everybody knows. There are crucial issues, which I know that many of them are concerned. Is, when something bad happens, you see a first lady show up and, hey, we're talking about it. But after a while, everybody goes back in their small little cocoons and we don't hear from them again. The truth is that the issue of drugs is a major assignment for every single first lady in this country to take. All those their first ladies meeting, they come together, there must be visible efforts on the part of every first lady. Yes, we know the laws are doing what they can do, but there's more of a communal engagement. We need to go out there and educate teachers. Sensitization. Communal sensitization, where the local, into the villages, into local communities, into the nooks and crannies of all your cities and local governments to tell them the importance. They must see the first lady walking the streets on drug abuse. There must be anger in the land.
Allow me to say that our first ladies should watch Fumila and Sonkuti. They don't stand for anything anymore.
Yes.
You know, connecting with your people is not sitting prim proper.
Yes.
You remember the club, the initial club?
Yes, so you're speaking English.
It's not sitting prim proper, fingers on point. Then every time your husband is going out, you're doing your extra scarf on the one side like this and his own. You must stand for something.
Yes.
We are plagued as a country now with drug. To the extent we are considering drugs where it was only the traffickers who were seriously dealt with in the past. The users were usually treated and counseled and released maybe on first, second time on returning offenders, then they take a stand. That's how the law, the NDLE Act works. But now we are plagued as a nation.
It's everywhere.
Everywhere you go, all our influencer musicians are performing and showing this thing. They go the whole red cup up and down. We're in trouble, we're plagued with it. So we want to see the mothers be mothers.
Yes.
So the women.
In fact, God bless you.
Be mothers.
Fumila and Sonkuti is an inspiration. All of us should come out with our bare chests.
Yes.
We don't do again, no, we don't do again. Drug abuse. We don't grow up. It's true. We must be angry.
We must be angry.
But I think
be
that
mothers.
Why you first and they say you two the first for the show?
No, but our first ladies be remembered for something. You know, Fumila Kuti is remembered for something. And there are first ladies that they will leave a mark. I can never talk about what Ekiti State, former first lady, Mrs. Erelu Fayemi, what she pushed for. And I know she's written a book about it. I'm waiting for her to write a more detailed biography on the policies she pushed for. It will become a movie. It will become a movie. So we as a state, if you realize this is what is the major issue, you are the mother of that state as a first lady. You have a responsibility to the children and the less privileged in that state. And you cannot solve all the problems. But you will pick one and be known for it. Campaign it with your full chest.
Let's not let Petra kick you the first ladies. No best business. All those are our husband governors who don't know the first ladies. The ones who don't want her to talk. The ones who say there's no office of first lady. You don't even get used. You know, you kill the spirit from home. Let these women be mothers. Mothers who, when they turn and see something, they can carry that child in. Miriam Babangida for me. Hey, as a child when I was small.
Better life for
all those are
women.
better. Even though we did not understand the details until we were adults.
But we knew it.
She showed up. That's what First Lady. And Babangida was somebody that all of us did not like as a president. But his wife, they did not shut her in the backyard. That's
We,
not
even we, the
Our
people, we the mothers,
Agilion
need to also cry and hold our first ladies to account. Because we are raising children. They are going to go to these schools. Yeah. They are finished speaking your English at home. Don't do this, don't do that. Your mommy does not drink, your mommy does not smoke. Your mommy does not do this. She goes out into the streets, into the schools, and sees everybody holding red cup. And before you know it, is influenced. So the fight that we are afraid to fight, if we don't fight it now, it will meet us. It will meet us.
So imagine entering, have them take this call first. Warrior Affair, thanks for calling.
Let's fight it now.
Okay.
You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. My take on the topic about the Senate approving a law that we found ban people from taking to keep people from taking out drugs. My question is this: why will a government do such a thing to their youth? Do you understand? Because now, if we are to look at the number of youth in Nigeria, are we together?
Yes.
Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. If you are looking at the number of youth in Nigeria taking out drugs, and the bill passed the second reading and it becomes a law, are we going to kill everybody taking drugs? Now let's look at this on another aspect. What about our politicians saying more, like a comment that one of you read just 4 minutes ago? What about that?
Oreolua, let me correct it. What the law is saying is that traffickers of hard drugs and producers, they are the ones that have the death penalty. However, 15 years imprisonment for those who are consuming those hard drugs. So those who are consuming are not going to be killed. It is the peddlers and the producers and the traffickers. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Can I go on?
Yes, please, go ahead, absolutely.
I have limited time. Please, okay, fine. 15 years for those that are using the hard drug, right? And the traffickers and those that are into it as a business, or those that get penalty, penalty business. Okay, fine. That's a good one. But can that actually curb the intake of hard drugs in the country?
Should we try first?
Because
should we try it first and you will see?
It will curb it.
Let's just look at this. I know that you are going to cut me off very soon, but let's just look at this. Look at the northern part of the country and the southern part of the country. The youth in the northern part of the country take more of drugs compared to the southern part of the country. But this is the problem. Hold on, I have the data of what I'm saying.
Okay.
But this is where the problem is. When the number of youth that take it in the north are not that recognized, because the one in the south posted on social media and everything, they tend to be the worst one. Now, if we are to take them and lock them up in prisons and everything like that, and those that are turned into business, what about those that don't have anything to do but just a little business just to do their thing? What about what are they to do?
Thank you very much, Oreolua. You see, the truth is that when government makes these laws, it's usually not just to it's not just to arrest all the people, the users. It's more as a deterrent for more people not to use it, knowing that they might get 15 years.
Yeah.
So if you're a teenager who is using, when you hear that the guy that sold to you, or the guy who you're both using in club yesterday was picked up and is getting 15 years, there's a strong likelihood that you will stop. So it's more for a deterrent purpose, not necessarily to arrest all the Nigerian youth and put them in prison.
It's important to arrest and prosecute and convict if you find somebody. The only reason Indonesia has become what it is now is because they took a stand.
Yes, so.
Oreolua is saying, will he work? He worked for some countries.
They work.
The problem here is that we are not even sure how the enforcement will happen
here.
If it starts to happen, you will see the deterrence. In fact, when they started armed robbery those days and the government thought, okay, the firing squad was the deal. He curbed it. He reduced it fast.
Drastically.
The fact that they were hung, those sick, if you pass Kirikiri, you still see the first sick by the barracks wall dividing the Navy barracks and Kirikiri prisons. You will see those 6 before posts that they used to put them. I told my kids the story that those days, armed robbery, you carry arm and rob somebody, this is the fate of those people. And that's the way they will be executed. Like, the lesson will stick to you because I didn't forget it as a child. We need to take stands against things, and we must see it through.
I'm so happy you mentioned Fumilayo Ransome-Kuti because it's just giving me a lot of ideas. Imagine you go, there's a place maybe somebody, I know if you, I won't mention the names of the communities, a few communities that are known for these drug sales and everything, peddling. And at 11 p.m., while they're there doing their thing, they see the first lady of the state coming in their own right, and with all women, all the commissioners, the wives, all the mothers, everybody in their shirts, are coming in with their sticks. Because they're coming to beat you up. They're coming to fight you. They're flogging everybody. This is the community that we are selling it. They're selling it. And start beating them up. And the news catches it. Tomorrow again, they go on that community. Do the same thing. You will not get the message. We are too docile as leaders.
Take ownership.
We need to take ownership of our communities. It's not one thing they can do law. But sometimes, as Dr. said earlier, there's some drastic measures
we have to take
that we in Africa must take first. We mothers must show up, just like Fumilayo and Sokuti did. Somebody must show up. After that, we cannot start talking about, let's take them to court,
drugs, you know? On drugs and the states in question.
Yes.
Based on experience, personal experience, I think it's a government military stand.
Oh, the whole world.
Because they are
follow them.
Now, it's even in the south. They are farming and they don't allow any infiltration.
Yeah, they are farming the drugs.
Yeah. They make scapegoats of our security agencies. If you come into their farms, they would massacre the body and make a statement of it. I hope NDLA will be willing to open up on some of these things, or a proper documentary on some of these things. They are kingpins. They are lords in their local community. And we were, you know, keeping quiet. I need money. In they help my pikin. I ain't raise my pikin. I ain't pay school fees for my pikin till the communities aided and abetted them to where we are today.
Yeah.
Sadly, where we are now, it's not First Lady and Stickle.
I agree. I agree.
I think it's the show. See, there's PR.
I agree.
There's a show. There's an enforcement. I agree with you. We need military force, definitely. But when they know that there's somebody who is paying attention, there's somebody constantly, at least you will save some children. If it's one child you save, just by that demonstration, you have done something.
So that demonstration will save the children or the young people who are just starting.
Yes.
There are other people who are already addicted.
Those ones definitely.
So that's where the follow-up will come from. So after we carry the bankere with our betches to go and flog them.
Yes, so I'm not doing betches.
You are flog them.
But in the movie, they use old women in the movie. They didn't use people like us now.
No, they can use us now. Our press is finer than those
other
we do better. So please let me land my point. After the flogging, what next? We must make sure that we have capacity to take in a lot of people that will be rehabilitated. There's a lot that goes into rehabilitation. There was a distant, family that had an issue at some point, and by the time we went there to visit and everything, the amount you pay is so much. So some people already have discovered that this person has a problem in the family, but there's no money to rehabilitate, because you need to win them off, you need to put them in that place. They would put all of this in place so that as they are picking those ones that are addicted, they are throwing them there. 3 months, 2 months, you are cleaned out of all of those your drugs. The ones that are just starting, the fear will not let them go back to it. And then we are also following up on prosecuting the kingpins, the owners of these things, the ones that send out the boys. The boys we see are the foot soldiers. They are the ones who are selling the thing and getting the money. The real people counting the money and shipping it abroad are not those ones. So it's a long-term I don't know how it's the action plan is not just one project. Thank you. It's not just one off. We go, we make noise, we do publicity, and everybody moves on. We must follow it from beginning to the end. Are we ready to invest in that? That's the question. But sometimes it's easy to just talk.
It's not about invest. It's what the community. You see, every evil you see in society is sort of accepted. It's allowed. You know, it could have been stopped when
nobody wants to bail the cat.
Everybody just wants to mind their business, and that's how we got here. Is it me that will not tell Tokwe that he should look child? I mean, is it Tokwe that will tell me to look my child? Why would she judge my child? Why have she removed a log in her eye? All those kind of lines. So we use those lines, and this is how we got here. Allowing, treating with levity serious issues, calling evil soft names, building fences and minding businesses. That's how we got here.
The higher defense.
Let's say we comment on social media, then we wrap up on this very.
Okay, let me go. Our YouTube people. YouTube is fighting them.
On Twitter. What are they saying on Twitter? On X, sorry. I'm the last Nigerian to get this.
Moral solution is emotional
approach. Oh, yeah.
Truth is truth. Now I can say you belong to the group of ladies when you propose to them. Oh.
They're having their own conversation.
Yeah.
So Bobby Roland says 15 years is too harsh. Who is going to enforce the laws in Nigeria? There is death penalty for banditry. How many bandits have they executed to date?
Asfat said it's only laws made for ordinary Nigerians that work with speed. Once they are involved, it becomes cosmetics on paper. But we are waiting, Sha.
Okay, so let me just take a final comment on this. It says drug dealers and peddlers are killers and killers. They have killed so many people who are no more useful to themselves and the society. To have a drug-free society requires punitive measures. If we desire a sane society, then we must be ready to take harsh decisions that will put our people on the right path. Kudos to General Marwa and the National Assembly. God bless Nigeria. This is Otumba Karim.
Korea replied me, says, BC government will never pay minimum wage. Now the same government want to build rehabilitation center for drug people.
Let's not joke with it. A government can take any agenda. It doesn't have to be 9 points. He says there should be death penalty as long as you're able to prove. Capitalize is the cocoa, as long as you're able to prove. And that is why it's more productive to call for a better police service, even if you want to go on a killing spree. How many politicians have been convicted for corruption since 1999? Death penalty will improve that. Asian dictatorship, you people love so much, execute a lot of innocent people.
Yes, so
that's what you want, especially in a country where the police are known to pick up random people on the streets.
Even the issue of death penalty across the world, even in the US, and the issues of racial profiling in death penalty. In fact, it was the advent of DNA that helped lots of people get off death row. Because then they realized that they opened the case. They realized that they were innocent people. So a lot of innocent people have been killed. So death penalty is a really careful. You have to tread carefully. It's risky. However, as we said before, you need it works at least to stabilize the society.
People will cool off for a few years
before we not bring it back. In our own country, we have issues of ethnicity, tribal, racial issues, religious issues. That it's because he's Muslim, that's why they arrested him. It's because he's from the north. So there are all that issues that we must consider before death penalty. So that's why death penalty is a very difficult tool to use. But if we're able to find a way to use it, I think it's actually be a strong deterrent for. We have to wrap up. Any final comments before we run? I think that's all. But really,
we should not come out bare chest. That will defeat the purpose.
I say that bare chest cannot work in Edo State. If you reach my town, from that angle, 90 in front of our all the mothers are pounding their yam bare chest.
Bare chest. Really?
Don't bother.
They do that. Eat the pounded yam.
People eat it now.
How would you pound your yam bare chest?
It's not going to kill you. You go there for your backyard.
But see, the point, the bare chest is just for emphasis.
Because of the movie.
You need to have, because of the movie, but the idea really is to do something drastic in our society, something that's never been done before. You know, I would really like to see that long line. And I know they've tried to do walks, but midnight walks hasn't been done. 11 p.m. where you go with Mopo, go with everybody, and going there, just scattering everywhere. You'll be surprised. You never know what's going to happen. But hey, after that raid, then what happens? That's the issue now. Then they're going to target our principals, and we have to be very careful. But either way, we have to find a collective solution to child trafficking, molestation, exploitation, drug abuse, drug trafficking, peddling, and usage. These are all vices that we need to ensure that the laws protect the teenagers, the youngsters who are involved in this, and properly prosecute the adults in this situation. That is all we can take on this show today. Hope we learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.